everyone, That Sexy Nerd is back again. And it's weird that I kind of wore this X-Men shirt because Nostalgia Critic is doing the Simpsons arcade game. Now, I know it's not the Simpsons. I don't have a Simpsons t-shirt. I have a Simpsons tattoo. Look at that. Me and my sister have matching tattoos. But anyway, yeah, I know. You could tell by that tattoo. It's fun relationship. But anyway, they're doing the Simpsons arcade game, which is, I mean, I didn't get to play this that much because my parents didn't really take me to arcades, just like mostly on my birthday, and not until I was a little bit older and I wanted to go, especially this one arcade where you could play the Star Wars trilogy game. Oh! The memories. But that's why I would usually play that game rather than anything else. I did play the X-Men arcade game and I did play the Simpsons arcade game, and Galaga. But honestly, the Star Wars arcade game always had my attention every single time. If they didn't have it, I was like so mad. I'm like, I don't even give a damn about these other games. But anyway, but I did love playing the Simpsons arcade game. But again, wasn't good at it. Wasn't good at it in the slightest. But I know everybody adores that game when it was out. So let's see how Nostalgia Critic like his memories from it. And please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to all my latest videos. Let's do this thing, y'all.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it's you don't have to. I'm at Galloping Ghost, the largest arcade in the world, to try out the new section I like to... I'm at Galloping Ghost, the largest arcade in the world, to try out the new section I like to call Arcadaptations.
Arcadaptations. Okay. So we're gonna see this soon.
In the 80s and 90s, a lot of media had arcade games based around them. You name it, movies, shows, even Aerosmith had an arcade game.
What?
And while yes, these games are fun to talk about, not many people discuss them as adaptations. I mean, these games were probably rushed to cash in on the zeitgeist, so it's important to look over just how well these games capture the voice of the subject matter. Or how much they made shit up because they didn't have enough info on the subject matter. Case in point, we're going to be talking about one of the most popular beat-em-up games of all time based on a very unlikely source, the Simpsons arcade game. How'd I get back here? The Simpsons arcade game was released by Konami in 1991 and was an instant success, being one of the top 3 highest-selling cabinets of that year and proving Simpson Mania was alive and well despite the show only being out for 2 years. But with that said, while The Simpsons now has over 35 years of endless characters and jokes to pull from, Konami only had 2 years of content. Hell, maybe even less than that to work off of.
It's crazy.
Needless to say, this makes it tricky to find dozens and dozens of enemies and obstacles to fight. So we're going to see how well it holds up, not just as a game, but as an arcadaptation. It's a working
Arcadaptation. What?
It starts off as on point as you can get, replicating the show's intro while also explaining who they are to newcomers. The story starts with Mr. Smithers robbing a jewelry store with explosives. Seems a lot of character.
Yeah, shouldn't it be what's his face? Burns? It's Mr. Burns. Dammit, Smithers, go take out the trash. And I guess that's what that meant, rob a store. And speaking of which, I don't have that much history with The Simpsons. My parents never let me watch it, and then every single time they would watch it, but then I'd be forced to watch Seinfeld or Just Shoot Me or some other show I wasn't really interested when I was a kid, and I never got any interest, and I missed all the years with The Simpsons. I still have never watched all the episodes. I've seen like a lot of the Halloween episodes, but other than that, I really do have to sit down and watch The Simpsons. Maybe I should make a reaction to that since it's on Disney. It's on the Disney Channel. But again, still need to work out some editing kinks. So hopefully I'll be able to bring that to you soon.
Yes, Smithers and Burns do bad things, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say they don't need the money
I know, right?
Smithers literally bumps into the Simpsons, causing him to drop the diamond.
To be fair, if it was a special diamond, I'm sure Mr. Smithers could get it for Mr. Burns.
Maggie confuses it for a pacifier, so Smithers kidnaps Maggie.
Yeah, what the hell?
Again, for what they had at the time, this was probably the quickest way to get a simple story across. You can either play as Homer, Marge, Bart, or Lisa, all voiced by the original cast. You got a jump button and attack button, and if you push them both, you do a special attack that hurts enemies even more. And unlike some other Konami beat-em-ups, it doesn't take off any of your life force anytime you use it. If you and another player stand still close enough to each other, you can also join forces and do a special move, even if sometimes it does result in some of the most annoying sounds in arcade history.
Can't believe you don't shut up!
Okay, I'm gonna choose Marge because I think her weapon being a vacuum had a little bit more reach, but I could be wrong about that. On that note, I guess they were vacuum shopping because I don't know why else she'd just be walking around with that thing.
Because
Maybe
she's
she's cleaning the sidewalk, I don't know. Also, I'll just say it, some of these situations look hilariously disturbing when you fight as her. Jesus! And like Princess Peach, if you're a dainty homebody in a fighting game, naturally your ass is gonna be a weapon.
Yeah,
you got a butt that won't quit.
You walk around town fighting Mr. Burns' hired goons.
Hired goons?
Who are a little weirdly designed. They're middle-aged men who look like, well, a family of 4 could take them out.
Yeah,
I feel like Burns would have tougher henchmen.
Nice
levels, they sneak in little cameos that nowadays I'm not sure the average fan would recognize. This kid in the arcade was actually a kid in the arcade in the early seasons. These bunny characters are from Matt Groening's old comic strip. Even the boss you find in the first level is a wrestler briefly seen in season 2.
I remember
so
that.
So they really tried to utilize as many characters as possible.
I remember that. I sucked at this game, so this is like, this is as furthest I could get. I could never beat this guy. Or I did beat him once, and then I got my ass kicked in the next level, and I was like, fuck it.
But yeah, a family sitcom, even an anime one, didn't have much use for assassins and henchmen and such, so they did need to make some up. Like in the first 2 levels, Springfield and Krusty Land, these 2 guys pop up before you fight them as a boss in the 3rd level, and I have no idea who they're supposed to be.
Right?
But they present them like, ooh, these 2 are here, get ready to see more of them.
What the
Maybe they accidentally got the script for the Moonwalker game when they figured out they got the wrong one, they just never changed it back. Speaking of which, in levels 3 and 4, when you go through a graveyard and a bar scene, I swear these are send-ups to the Moonwalker games.
Are you
Which
sure?
Which Jackson guest starred on the show and may have even written the Bartman song. I don't think that's such a stretch.
It seemed like Michael Jackson was doing a lot of video games in the 90s. Not only is he apparently connected to the Simpsons game, but apparently he also wrote the music for the Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's not even apparently anymore. The guy confirmed it. So, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the game, he apparently wrote the music to that.
Please, they prefer to be called the living impaired.
Even in that cutaway joke, he's wearing a Jackson album. Simpsons Gate is real, whatever it is.
Wow.
I guess Mo is really moving up in the world, turning his bar into a franchise. He even has Bart Tracy playing there. Okay, now the background jokes are great. Even Mo being on the phone while a fight breaks out indicates this is really nothing new for him.
Hey everybody, I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt and my butt smells.
And then yeah, there are jokes that are just there to be video game jokes. Like they have an alien arcade cabinet and it's shown it's Marge as one of the aliens. Get it? Because her hair looks like penis. The Simpsons game itself gets a lot of self-promotion. I think this works because, again, these jokes were par for the course at the time. And it does show you're not supposed to take this too seriously. Now let me continue to analyze every nitpick in connection to the original.
Well,
Maybe if they waited later, they could promote some other Simpsons games we don't talk about.
Where's Hit and Run?
Those were very patient henchmen waiting in those cabinets. Again, knowing Mo, he probably smuggled a million other things in them.
Alright, on the light.
At the end of the level, you fight a boss who's just a junkie. Yeah, okay, I do wish they could have utilized some other villains they had, like Mrs. Botts or Sideshow Bob or the aliens. Even instead of the Krusty Balloon at the end of level 2, it would have been cooler if they had some henchmen dressed up as Itchy and Scratchy. Still, like I said, I don't know what the rush for this game was, and it is impressive they worked in as much as they did. Heck, in the next level, the bear that accidentally gets released from Krusty Land reappears and is drawn exactly like the bears in the camping episode. And that's 2 callbacks. It's clever, too, that they run into Bigfoot, and in the episode I just mentioned, they joke about how Homer is so below average he's confused for Bigfoot. And here, he has the same moves as Homer. That's actually kind of subtle if you think about it.
then the two homers.
There's that bear again. You do have to fight the bear at the end, who, wait, was a henchman the whole time? So he was just in a cage and they chased after his employer?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, as you fall off a waterfall and get knocked out, leading to the most inventive level, your own dream. Or a shared dream if you're playing with others. This gets really out there and has a lot of fun, using elements from every family member's life as obstacles. And of course, they're operating with Matrix on Elm Street rules. If you die in the dream, you die in real life.
Oh,
Jesus,
jeez.
I never knew Marge had such self-hate. Granted, I think most parents have a dream similar to this about their kids. And it usually ends the same way.
Yeah.
You have to fight a giant bowling ball at the end, and afterwards you play one of the few in-between games where you have to push the buttons as quickly as possible. In the old days, I used to smash them at the same time as quick as I could, but I think it actually works better if you just go back and forth between them. Once you wake up, you go to the next level, a TV station, and seeing how Konami also did the Ninja Turtles game, you gotta wonder if that channel name is intentional. While they do miss an opportunity to get Ken Brockman in there, I do like he's legit angry people are fighting during his newscast and he just gives up. Don't worry, buddy, there wasn't even a camera recording you. This level's a little underwhelming, seeing how it's only a news set, a space set, and then a ninja set. I feel like they could have gone a lot further with this. However, it is quite revealing to find out that Marge is a rabbit. I did not know this. The boss is, I don't know, Doc Brown, the samurai clown. And once you defeat him, you get to the final level at the nuclear power plant. Honestly, it's not even a level, it's just two boss battles. It's almost like they forgot to wake the henchmen up and you just pass them by without even knowing.
How dare you disturb me during nap time?
But see how the last level was a little underwhelming, and I feel like we've kind of fought the nuclear power plant a few other times in other levels.
How dare you
I think it's
my
pretty
beautiful
welcomed.
world?
And while it's cool, the original voices of the main characters are represented here. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say the voice of Smithers isn't the original.
Welcome to my world.
Very brave of them to have Mickey Rooney return to his most controversial role. Maybe they were like, yeah, he went from black to white, why not throw Asian in the mix too? He throws his explosives at you. Again, as the character does. And once you defeat him, you finally take on Mr. Burns.
Oh, what the hell? Still not his voice.
This feels like the most authentic boss battle. Tell me you couldn't see him just having this thing stashed away.
Of course.
He probably creates Girl Scouts asking for money for cookies in this. And appropriately, he is damn difficult to beat.
God.
Jesus, why'd you become as hard as Dragon's Lair all of a sudden? You fight him in a few different forms, which again feels appropriate for the final boss. And after he's defeated, Maggie puts a pacifier in his mouth. Which again is a joke the early seasons would probably end on. Thus the credits roll as they all walk home. Homer even gives you the diamond at the end. Yeah, thanks, those shiny pixels will definitely cover all the quarter guzzling that final boss raked up. So there it is, the Simpsons arcade game. You know, it's still pretty damn good. As a game, it's basically a classic. It's fun, it's creative, it has a lot of variety. On the whole, I give it an A. As an adaptation, it's also pretty decent. It captures the spirit and humor of the early seasons while also being laid back enough to throw in some in-jokes and character cameos superfans would recognize. It does miss the mark in a few areas, like not utilizing even more characters and having a shaky story that, yes, is part of the course for games at that time, but could have been a touch more clever. As an adaptation, I give it a B+. So I guess all added together, that equal out to an A-. Okay. It's still a pretty impressive accomplishment all these years later. With that said, what do you think? Do you think this game works both on its own and as an adaptation? Or do you feel like it missed the idea of what the show was about? Also, let me know if you dig me reviewing old arcade games as adaptations and what ones you want to see me do in the future.
I would love to see that. That's great.
I'm the nostalgia critic, I remember, so you don't have to.
Are you gonna always be at this place, though? It's awesome.
Welcome to my world.
Welcome to my world. It's like he was voiced by the guy who replaced Mako at the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Goodbye, everyone. Today, destiny is our friend. I know it.
Come on. It was too easy. So, yes, I dig this, and I hope he does more of this in the future. I would love to see the X-Men arcade game next. See, he has to do the next one. It has to be the X-Men arcade game. But, as an adaptation, I really do believe that it actually was a good adaptation because it used all the characters they had, and they brought some characters that they weren't even supposed to use, like the rabbits or the guys with really big fitting clothes, the Donald Trump clothes. Uh, but yeah, I really dig this new approach, and I hope he does more of this in the future. And where the hell is Freak Show Cinema? I haven't seen that one in a good while, but I don't know. Maybe he'll bring that back soon. So please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to all my latest videos. Invincible is up on Patreon, but again, I have to take a little bit of time and try and edit the episodes to get them on YouTube. Hopefully I can get them on, and hopefully I won't receive too much trouble. In the meantime, enjoy my content, and I'll see you on the next episode.